What's up, guys? So I'm thinking of doing this like new thing where I kind of just, you know, do like quick videos, kind of be more like interactive with you guys and maybe teach a little bit and talk about like just ideas that I have, right, and why I like them. Maybe that'll help some of you guys. So, all right, so let's get right into it. So this is a potential idea that I came across, right? So this is Reefer Research Frontiers, right? So obviously, I've made videos before on how to find tickers. So I found this. So the first thing that I like about it is they basically have never diluted ever since like 2016, right? So they're not diluters, which is really nice to see, obviously. Doing like quick searches, right? So I found like I look at this delist notification to see how they are with compliance. Just do that. June 1st. They've been provided 180 days or until November 30th for both NASDAQ things. So basically, they have compliance until the 30th, so that's another 3 months. That's good. I checked these votes to make sure that there's no reverse splits approved or anything like that. They didn't vote for anything here, from what I see. If you go to here, you could do a Control F look. They don't have any reverse split there either. I think they would even still get 180 days on top of this too, because it's their first extension. So I look at all that, and that's all good, right? Obviously, I'm looking at the level 2, right? I'm looking at the level 2. I'm seeing how thin it is, and then I'll go into the chart, right? So I'll look at the chart, right? And obviously, I like bottom setups because they're the best risk versus reward. And one of the things that I like about this one is obviously, so they haven't diluted, they have no reverse split approved or anything like that. But one of the things I like about this is the stock was trading back up here in multiple dollars. And we already saw that the share structure hasn't changed much at all. And if you look at, like right up here, if you look at the daily volume each day, it's kind of come down on like no volume. It's like 10K shares, 5K shares, 70K. I mean, you're watching it like look at 30K shares, 10K, 40K, 10K, 4K. It's like super, super low volume. You're talking like, this is like maybe $10,000 to $20,000, nothing, worth of volume every day. And it's just slowly bleeding and bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So it's a lot of potential upside, right? Which is what I like. The other thing I look for is, obviously, I don't want to buy it when it's here, coming down, right? Because I'm adding in a downtrend. So I want to wait for it to have support, right? And then I want to start to add when the stock is starting to go in an uptrend, like this, okay? So really basic stuff, but, I look for this because if I'm, when I alert, when I post something for you guys and I alert something, I want to make sure that the play is in a good spot, because listen, I may have found this play at 52 over here, right, a month ago, or somebody else may have found, whatever the case is, and yeah, maybe it is a good play, but it's also about timing the chart. It's hard to do. So you want to make sure, like, there, like you see here, all the moving averages are starting to become underneath. We're building right up to the what is this, the 50 SMA here, and then what I like about it is it doesn't have much like resistance above. You have some resistance here around like 50, 51, you could say, right around here. Over that, I mean, you have resistance, like you have some here at 60, and then you have some here at like 73 maybe. But I think I really hit like 80. I mean, I don't see why this can't do, like, even here, like low 70s. I think you could definitely get 60, and why not get, mid 60s, low 70s, I think is possible. And you're talking, from here, that's a 55% move, which is big, right? And then if you look at your risk, it's like, all right, like, it's trading right here around like 48 cents. The other thing that I like is you've noticed that as it's starting to go up, you see that the volume has also started to increase. That's also because, like when the moving averages start to get, so when you're in an uptrend on a chart, the algos for the ticker are a lot more in your favor. So that you'll notice like stocks that are trading like garbage, and then all of a sudden, one day, like, like a flip of a switch, they trade really clean. A lot of times it's also based off the chart. If it's in a downtrend, the algos will make the chart a lot make the stock a lot heavier. If it's in an uptrend, it'll make the stock about it'll help make the stock lighter. So so I mean, this is a potential idea. So like, yeah, I own this. I obviously, I bought this one. This is financial advice, but I own Reefer, and I think that, I mean, it dumped here to like 35, but if you look, it's at like 80K shares. I don't have any this low or anything like that. But I know, like, I was watching it here. It had like some nice buys, right? Then it bounced off the support again here. So you have some support at like this 42 area, I would say. So I would, that's like your bottom, I would say, for now. Your resistance above you have is like 51. But I mean, I don't see why this can't, be something like that could go. So like, this is an example where, even though, like, this is stuff that I'll load on my own, even though I don't post it, right? Because I know what I'm looking for. So I hope this helped. I hope this kind of gives you an idea of, like, I'm going to start doing these more often, but please let me know if this helps at all. And let's see what happens to Reefer. Let's see if we're right. Let's see if we get a squeeze on this one or not. Alright guys, I'll see you later.